So in this video, I'm with you guys on page 3, and what we are going to be reviewing is how to graph solutions on a number line. What we are going to be doing is showing the infinite number of possibilities by graphing on a number line. So let's get started here with the first one. We're simply trying to show that y is greater than 5. So on your number line here, you're going to notice that right there in the center is where you just want to put the number. It's okay if you want to build your number line around it and build in like the 6, 7, 8, and then you can put like the 4 and the 3 and the 2 and so on. But for me, for saving time, I left that part blank. What I really wanted to review here in the video is that if it's just greater than, it could not equal 5. So to show that, we leave an open circle and then we shade everything bigger than 5. And these are all of the numbers that we could plug in for y and they would work. So for example, I could take this 7 and 7 is bigger than the 5. I could take this decimal 7.5 and it is bigger than 5. So we know we've shaded in the correct direction. Now right below it though, we have greater than or equal to, and this time that means that g could equal to, and that's why we then have a closed circle where we color it in. And now show me everything greater than by shading this way. So when you see the just greater than symbol, that's going to be an open circle. Whoops. And if you see the or equal to, that's how you know you're going to be looking at a closed circle. Okay, open versus closed here. Now on this side, I wanted to review here with the negatives that when you're looking at your negative number line, be very careful, y'all, when you're writing these values in, that you get closer to 0 this way, and then positives would be up here, and then you'd get more negative this way on your number line. So just be really careful about that. Now for this one, we're back to m is less than -3. So we have an open circle, and now show me everything less than by shading this way. A common mistake I'll see a lot of students do is they'll put the circle up here and draw the line above the number line. We don't want to do that. We want to trace on the number line because essentially what we're doing is we're supposed to be showing the solutions. So anything on the number line that's less than -3 would work for m. And now for number 6, we have a less than or equal to, so 0, we have 0 smack in the middle. And so if we're shading into all the negatives, we're going to be shading this way. For j would be less than or equal to 0. Now let's take a look at a couple more examples here. Now for number 3, the reason this is going to be tricky for some of y'all is because you start to think you've developed a rule in elementary school. Let me cover these back up. Here's the rule that some of you think you've noticed. Some of you think that if this symbol is like this, I'm going this way. Here it is again, I'm going this way. This time it's here, it's going this way, and this time it's going this way. But the only reason that works, y'all, is because in every situation, the variable is on this side. So notice how number 3 changes. This is saying 6 is less than h, which means if you rewrite it with the letter first, h is everything bigger than the 6. Now with the letter first, that's when our little trick will work. So just be very careful, y'all. Some of you might have seen this symbol facing this way and think, oh, I'm going to shade this way. Nope, 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 nope. All right, so if h is everything bigger than 6, we'd shade this way. And friendly reminder that because we don't have the or equals to, it's an open circle. Now for this one, we have -2 is bigger than or equal to w, which means w is less than or equal to the -2. Notice my alligator symbol is still eating the -2 here. Same over here, the alligator symbol is still eating h. Now with the variable first, we can consider that w has to be everything less than or equal to -2. So we've got our closed circle on the -2 because it could equal -2. And then we're going to shade everything less than that. All right, 2 more examples here. We have that x would be greater than or equal to -4. So this would be one that you'd want to rewrite it. X is everything greater than or equal to -4. So closed circle, and everything bigger than would be this way. If this is -4, we'd have -3, -2, -1, and 0 would be up this way. So that's how you know you're getting bigger in this direction. And for the last one here, if we take that a is less than -8, you've got an open circle on your -8. You're going to get more negative this way if you're less than. So this is the way we want to travel. So if this is -8, we'd have -9. This would be -10, for example. So these would be all the numbers less than -8. Now for this next part, when asked to graph the solutions for x is less than 4, take a look at what Sophie put on her number line. She started at 3 and went with, I'm going to graph then, if it can't be 4 and it's supposed to be less than, let me just say, okay, it'll be 3 and it could equal the 3 and be everything less. But what about, for example, 3.5 or 3.8 or 3.2? What about our decimals? Now, these decimals are all less than 4, but they're not included on this number line solution. So no, we do not think that this graph is correct. The graph only shows x is less than 3, and we want less than 4. And for example, 3.5 is a decimal. That's less than 4 and should work, but would not be shown as a solution here on the number line. So what Sophie should have done was the open circle on 4 and everything less than that. And now all of the decimals between 3 and 4 would be included in the answer, okay? Now what I'm going to do with this next little segment is show you guys just how to read the number line. And after this little part, you guys are going to be finishing up page 3 on your own and then working on page 4 independently. So for this one, you've got an open circle on 1, and we shaded everything bigger. So we start with x and we have that it's bigger than 1. Now another acceptable answer would be to say that 1 is smaller than everything that gets shaded. That works. But we're going to come up with a general rule of thumb here that says, let's let the variable come first. Now tell me what all the answers could be. So all the answers could be bigger than 1, and that's how we're going to format our answers. On this one, we have the -5 is shaded in and everything bigger than that. So the alligator symbol is eating x, and we're shading everything bigger than or equal to the -5. All right, I did want to go through a couple of less than examples. So here we have an open circle on 2, and we shaded everything smaller. So now we have x is less than. Now this should not have that. Let me fix that. Let me get a whiteout pen real quick. That should not have the or equal to part. That should just be x is less than 2. Now because this one is colored in and it's at the 0, this time we will see less than or equal to the 0. So at this point, you're going to just finish up down here, and then you're going to flip over, and you're going to just work on page 4. This is going to be labeled as a homework, but we'll do it right now. And you're basically going to be writing, or excuse me, I already have the key here, so I need to get off that page. You're working on the rest of page 3 and page 4 now. Thank you.